Yusuf Erim is in the studio. So this statement, this statement only came out a few minutes ago. It's pretty fulsome. It pretty much lays out Trump's entire Middle East strategy while addressing the thing that everybody wants him to address, but not in the way they thought it was going to happen because of the leak of from the CIA.
Well, he's totally disregarding the nation's #1 intelligence apparatus. They've supplied a report saying they believe MBS is responsible for Khashoggi's murder. And he's basically saying that national interests above all else. This is the purest form of realpolitik, and this is what we've come to expect from Trump in his almost 2 years of presidency. So from what we could see, regardless of whatever type of evidence is going to come out, he's going to stand behind Mohammed bin Salman, and he's going to stand behind American national interests and try to pursue them to the fullest in the Gulf region.
And he's made it absolutely clear in paragraph 3, as I keep saying, 7 paragraphs here, he's talked about what he believes will be hundreds of thousands of jobs created in the United States through business deals that he has negotiated as President of the United States. There's some doubt about whether his numbers are completely correct, but he even says of the $450 billion deal that I've done with Saudi Arabia, $110 billion is going to be spent on the purchases of military equipment, and he names the companies that are going to benefit from that. Germany, in the past 24 hours, has said it's going to halt all arms sales. The government is going to put pressure on its arms manufacturers who have already signed contracts with Saudi Arabia not to honor those. Sweden has done the same. Norway has done the same. But the United Kingdom, France, and the United States are still holding back. What are they waiting for?
I think they're all waiting for the United States to see what they're going to do. And if the United States moves hard against Saudi Arabia and blocks arms deals, then England and France will fall in line as well. I don't think either of the three want to go out on a limb first. They're watching each other's moves. They don't want to be the one that's left out of the Saudi gold mine, that immense amount of economic wealth that they have, and they don't want to lose those sales to the other countries. Now, this fear that Trump keeps spreading that Saudi Arabia will go to Russia, they'll go to China, these are totally bogus claims. They've invested heavily in U.S. weapons. They've had all their systems are integrated according to U.S. weapons. Now, for them to switch over to Chinese weaponry or switch over to Russian arms, that would take decades. It's not that simple. So he's using that fear tactic to use it as an explanation to the American public, but that's a bogus claim. And talking about numbers, 450 billion, we've had many top-notch former U.S. defense officials on news over here, on programs, and I've had a chance to talk to them, and they've said these numbers are overinflated. They're talking about 50 billion maximum. So the numbers are overinflated. The jobs are exaggerated. The fear of Saudi Arabia going over to Russia and China is exaggerated. This is mainly the Middle East peace plan. That's the priority right now in containing Iran, and they feel they can do this best with Saudi Arabia and Mohammed bin Salman in power.
Yusuf, a Turkish newspaper has published a transcript of some of the audio recordings of what happened inside the consulate on October the 2nd. They've identified some of the voices. There were 19 phone calls made while Khashoggi was inside the consulate, when there was the tussle, when he was killed. Those phone calls were made to Al-Qahtani, the senior aide to the Crown Prince. Trump has not mentioned in this entire statement Turkey. He has not mentioned anything about the investigation that was carried out here in Turkey and all the details that have come out of that. What is Turkey going to make of this statement?
Well, first thing, Trump can't mention any of these details because when he does, he just destroys his own thesis that he's trying to put out with this statement. So he has to stay away from evidence because evidence is not helping him, it's hurting him. What's Turkey going to make of this? Well, in about an hour, the foreign minister, Mevlut Çavuşoğlu, will be releasing a statement. So we're going to have to see what the official government line is, but I can't imagine Turkey's happy with the U.S. stance right now. They were expecting America to have give more weight to the humanitarian aspect of everything that's going on. But unfortunately, President Trump does not want to look at this. He's trying to push it away. It's a nuisance to him right now. It's a nuisance for him furthering America's national interest. But I believe Turkey will continue to put the pressure on. There's still probably much evidence that we haven't seen. There's the voice recording that many people are talking about that could quite possibly see the light of day very soon. Who knows? But I still don't think any amount of evidence is going to change Trump's mind, and he made that clear with this statement.
For so long, from the moment, it must be almost a month ago now, when Trump outside the White House said, I've spoken to the King of Saudi Arabia, and this could be rogue killers who carried out this operation. From that very moment, the accusation against the President of the United States was that he is helping the Saudis to cover this up. And now, a senior Saudi source has told Middle East Eye that when Mike Pompeo flew to Riyadh, he had with him a plan that the Americans had come up with that would help the Saudis cover this up. And the most outrageous part of this source's statement, it seems outrageous at least, is that eventually, if all the pressure continues on the royal family in Saudi Arabia, they'll have to find a minor royal to pin the blame on this. Now, some of it, as I say, sounds outrageous. But coming back to the very basic point, does it still look as if the President of the United States is trying to help Saudi Arabia cover up at least the discovery of what exactly happened and who ordered it?
It definitely looks like they're trying to cover up, or at least help provide a strategy that can distance Mohammed bin Salman from this mess where he could continue his political survival. But Turkey's not letting up. Turkey is continuing this drip evidence strategy that is working very well, keeping the pressure on. When you think about it, it's been, what, 45 days since this happened, and we're still talking about this, and this is still breaking news. This is still the #1 story in the world, and very rare do we see a story have such a long news cycle. So Turkey's strategy has been very successful, keeping the pressure on the Saudi royals, keeping the pressure on President Trump to make the right decision. Turkey's not trying to pressure the U.S. to do the wrong thing. They're trying to pressure the U.S. to do the right thing. Unfortunately, they have to apply so much pressure for Trump to do the right thing. In the end, we're talking about international law being broken. We're talking about a murder. Why does the President of the United States need so much convincing to place sanctions on this country, or to ask the Crown Prince, to ask the King to have the Crown Prince step down or change the line of succession?
Okay.
This is
Yusuf,
madness.
Thank you very much indeed. Yusuf Erim, our TRT World analyst.